Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, May 14th, and I'm about to take a short ferry ride into a town called Tielrode. It's a lovely sunny morning, not too hot, not too cold, with a gentle breeze. So I'm just sitting here in this quiet area waiting to go to Tielrode. I've written a new story for us to enjoy called Flora and the Tulips. Once upon a winter morning, Flora woke from a deep, winding sleep. Her eyes still heavy, she lifted her body from the quiet of her bed. The night had given her no rest, but it did bring her a dream, lifelike and clear. In her dream, she carried a bouquet of flowers, so stunning, of such unseen beauty, that she could still make out its delicate blend of color and fragrance. Flora rose from the bed and got on with her day, yet the image remained, slowly fading from nighttime dream to waking dream, to a dream of gentle longing. Chasing this idea, she visited the marketplace, where she met, among the bustling merchants, a most charming florist. He listened with interest and offered the young woman 3 enchanting bulbs. "Tulip Rose," he said, cradling the first bulb in his apron, "is an industrious fairy, a clever student of spring and bloom. She grows blossoms of vibrant indigo and teal, roses that sparkle in their search for the sun." He placed a bulb into Flora's hands, and she enclosed it with her palms. "Tulip maize," he continued, grabbing the second bulb from a burlap sack, "is a fickle kind of fairy, sometimes weary, sometimes restless, an occasional observer of nature's flourishing mood. She's partial to peonies, primrose too, of common pinks, purples, and reds. Her flowers leave a wistful trail of all scents soothing and familiar." He handed her the second bulb, which she placed beside the first in the front basket of her bicycle. "Tulip periwinkle," he concluded, digging the third final bulb from the dark earth of a flower pot, "is a true fair weather fairy, seen only under cloudless skies and in agreeable weather. She loves lavender, lilac, daffodil and daisy, sunflower, saffron, and rare, billowy frocks of marigold. She grows what she wants. She listens less often than not." He put the third bulb in her basket and bade her farewell. Flora rode her bicycle home, where she carefully planted the tulip fairies, each in a glass pot on the southernmost windowsill of her kitchen. Winter rolled into spring. Cold gave way to a mild, crisp chill, and in their pots they rustled, the fairies, arose and blossomed, until that one momentous morning. Rose sprung up first, popping out of her petals in a flash of lively sparkles. Maize lingered, folding each petal of her flowery bed before disappearing into the garden. Finally, periwinkle, Flora saw, merely stirred in her gown of dusty pollen, hugging her pillow in preparation for an even milder day. Before long, all 3 set about conquering the garden, its rusty soil and shadowy corners, so they filled the air with an abundance sweeter than usual for spring. From the woodshed, Flora looked on in amazement. Each day at dawn, she followed the tulips' motions, their playful dance over the grass and flower beds. She breathed the air laden with energy. She soaked up the buzzing hum, both magical and known. Then the first seeds began sprouting, throughout these grounds steeped in sprightly dust. All was well, until the turn sometimes suffered by spring. Days before, all could sense it, all could feel this sudden turn, as the garden began vibrating in a different tune. The bees and fairies dusted flowers with nervous anticipation. The young woman covered seedlings with any jars and pots she could find. From the distant west, a thick blanket of rain fell over the grounds and covered the flowering beds. The clouds soon grew unsettled, the droplets relentless and dark. Rose, maize, and even periwinkle weaved in between showers, forming a guardian dome of light over all that lay beneath. The shelter withstood the first week, and miraculously even the second. By the third, the cracks became too numerous, and the storm too merciless for the fairies to continue. Heavy rain broke through, drenching the earth within hours. It clattered on the buckets, pots, and jars in a furious, discordant symphony. When hope had all but vanished, someone came knocking at the door. "Fairies' bellows," the florist said, before handing her the device and fading into the storm. "Use wisely," he called over his shoulder. Flora examined the ornate wood and leather instrument, which she carried to the garden. With the help of the tulips, she discovered its booming, magical breath, powerful enough to thrust her back across the floor. She stood in the doorway, pushing glowing gusts of dust into the garden and stepping forward again after each. The luminous mist absorbed all that touched it. Spring settled into summer. One morning, after a wondrous, soothing sleep, Flora stepped outside. She was overcome by that graceful blend of perfume and pigments, which she once imagined and was now real. Lovingly folded roses in lively magenta and teal shimmered in all corners of the garden, letting their sparkling, flickering scents be carried by the breeze. Beds of peonies and carnations lined the pathways. Their pale pinks, purples, and whites exuded a delectable perfume of spiced tea, cherry sweets, and honey. Next to the woodshed, sunflowers bloomed, and fragrant patches of lavender entertained the bees. Flora spotted daisies in alternating hues of cool and warm, poking from thriving borders of rosemary, thyme, and mint. And there, in a far corner, those sunny, billowy frocks of marigold, as beautiful as they were rare. The young woman gathered flowers and herbs from all corners of the garden. She placed them by her mother, by her father. She planted them by the church and the square, by the crumbling bridge and the roads leading into town. They flourished and spread, and before long shrouded the gaps of all that was shattered, lost, or broken. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Next week, I'll share a new story. Same time, different location. See you soon.